Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Sorry, there's a bit of a technical issue. Bob, there is an echo coming from your side. So actually, sorry about that. Let me get Bob in again. Bob, can you hear us now?
Yeah. Yep.
I think we need to mute you because we are hearing the echo from your side.
Oh, okay. It's fine as well.
Okay. All right. So, hello, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for everyone who's watching. I've just been out for a whole startup weekend, and I'm glad to have Mr. Noah Kagan, King Taco himself. Welcome on the show, Noah.
Yes, Daniel, Bob Lowe. I was looking
Yeah.
at my calendar. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to finish my Friday strong, hanging out with y'all and all your sexy listeners.
Thanks for coming in. It's been a while since I actually met you in person. I think the last time was in Singapore with Mohan and the whole bunch of people. So that's been a while. But I've been following your work online over the years, and I love AppSumo. I've been a big advocate on that. So there are a bunch of folks coming in. Kari from Penang say good morning. Hi, good morning, Kari. Dennis watching. So we don't have much time with you. We hope we do, but let's dive deep into it. We're going to talk about recession-proof business. We're going to talk about the new opportunities that come out of that, and also want to talk about your shows and how you've been actually growing AppSumo and the other stuff. Let's go. Let's start.
Let's get it on. Where's this live? Like, where's everyone watching from? Like, literally.
It's actually watching. It's on my Facebook group. So in the Facebook group for the entrepreneur group has about 25,000 entrepreneurs in Malaysia.
What's it called?
We group. It's called Entrepreneurs and Startup in Malaysia. I think I tagged you there before once. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go join the group. Let's keep going.
Okay. Basically, in terms of this group, we grow it from 8,000 to 25,000, almost about a year actually. So,
dude, awesome, man! Congrats.
Thank you very much. So, without further ado, number 30 on Facebook. When you first joined Facebook, you have to double their user base. You were employee number 3 or 4 on Min? I can't remember. I keep forgetting.
Number 4
on Min, and founder of AppSumo. So just let's start with a bit like, why do you start AppSumo?
Maybe I'll ask you this, Daniel. Why do we start anything? All right. So, what do you think?
To make money, that could be one, but
money? Yeah, money's a good one. I like money. It pays for things.
I usually start stuff because I'm bored.
Bored is another one. I think a lot of times we start things because we have either problems we want to solve, or we have opportunities of something that's missing in the world. Like, I think a real entrepreneur and a creator is not someone who's satisfied. Because if you're satisfied, then you wouldn't do anything about your problems. If you're satisfied, then you're just saying, everything's good enough. And if you're satisfied, you don't want to actually make the change in the world that you can. And so I think that's why you end up doing things, because you're someone who's not satisfied and you want better.
And so what do you want better with AppSumo? What was the AppSumo to make the world better?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I recognized in my gift, or everyone has some specialty. Everyone has some talent. You do, Bob does, Daniel does, Ko does, every single person in Malaysia does. And my talent is marketing. But what I think about marketing is that it's more like, it's more not marketing, but it's more evangelizing. I'm like a pastor or a rabbi, or I don't know what the person in a mosque is called, but my job is to, what's it called?
Ustad. We call it Ustad in Malaysia.
Yeah, Ustad. And so my job is to find the most interesting things possible, or what I love is finding the most interesting things possible and sharing them and telling other people, specifically in business, yo, this is going to change your business dramatically, and I got a great price on it. And so the reason I started the business for me was I wanted a better price on products that I wanted to use, so like MailChimp. But now we built our own product, sendfox.com, which everyone should be using for their weekly newsletters. It's free. And the second thing that I realized is that the number one problem of every business is customers. And so a lot of times when people are starting businesses, they solve the wrong problem. And then they say it's a marketing problem. I need help with my Facebook ads. And it's actually not the Facebook ads. It's that you're solving something not important. And it's then spending a lot of time and getting rejected to figure out what is important, that people are excited to give you their money.
And what do you see people are excited? Because a lot of times in this COVID-19 situation, there's a lot of product market failure. And So everyone talks about product market fit, but Hian Go suggested there's this product market failure happening over this time. What are people excited, and also how do you actually move your business towards something where getting people to be more excited again?
So there's product market fit, product market failure. I don't know. I don't really believe in those things, but I think another way of looking at it is, so Daniel, it's now, is it Saturday there?
Saturday morning, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you spend money on this week?
A lot of
I can
food.
guess, but why don't you, food? What else did you maybe spend money on?
Coffee.
Coffee. Entertainment. Do you pay for any shows, or do you subscribe to anything where you watch shows?
Strangely, yes, Broadway and those. Yeah,
Sure. And then do you have a cell phone subscription?
of course.
Okay. And so I think what people say product market fit, product market failure, what they're really saying is that they haven't found something important enough that people are excited to give them money. Because whether I don't believe in recessions. I think that you're just not important enough, so people are cutting the fat. They're cutting the things that is just not that valuable to them. Otherwise, they would keep it. And so in business and in life, specifically more in business, how do you keep evolving to stay at the most important thing to these specific people? And let's even talk specific examples. So if it's entertainment, is it a board game? Is it a TV show? Is it some form of activity like a date night box? And I think a lot of people are blaming the government. They're blaming the virus. They're blaming staying at home. I've looked at it as the greatest opportunity I've ever seen. And I think many businesses are going to 10x. And I think all that really takes is saying, how can I become even more valuable and be more aggressive during this time when everyone is afraid? And that's what we're doing at AppSumo.com. That's what we're doing with SendFox.com, our email marketing tool. AppSumo is the #1 site for software deals. And we're doing it with HallDrop.com. And I've been doing it with my content. It's like if everyone's out there kind of hibernating, if everyone's kind of putting their head in the sand, waiting for this to end, I'm going to go out there as a confidence cheerleader and spread positivity and spread some actionable tactics so that people can say, hey, I can take some responsibility and get some control during this uncertainty.
And those contents are really amazing, and I've been following it for a while. And I do see a bit of a shift during this whole lockdown. And in terms of this particular channel hasn't existed since the Malaysian lockdown. So we decided to help the entrepreneur in our community to bring people like yourself to share knowledge, to get people to get excited about business again, because a lot of them are looking at this as a tough time. And I do like your philosophy in terms of looking at there's no such thing as a recession. It's just where they're cutting the fat. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been in a recession. You know,
Bob?
Yeah, Bob, what's going on, man?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's the question. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Dean, who I work with, is in Malaysia. And we have people all over the world, and there's businesses all over the world. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, my business is negatively impacted. It just means your business was that important to begin with. And so this is a great wake-up call to say, well, what can I do? And everyone can do something. And if you don't have any money, you're like, Noah, you're already wealthy and you got all this money. You know, it's easy for you to say that. But that's also because I've been working my ass off, and it takes time. So everyone should start a newsletter. Go to sendfox.com and start a newsletter and start building. I've been building my audience for 20 years. Okay, but that's going to take some time. So you need to today go get a job delivering food. And once you've taken care of surviving and you're not worried about paying your bills, now let's start saying, hey, how do I actually expand and create a startup? How do I validate an app? How do I validate a marketplace? How do I validate maybe a service? Another thing that people are, maybe, I don't know if a bunch of your people are restaurant owners, but they're like, well, what are you talking about? My restaurant's closed.
Yep.
Okay. Well, delivery's not closed. People are still eating food. They're just not maybe eating your food. People are still needing delivery. Can you help create other delivery options? Can you start delivering other types of items? And a lot of innovation comes out of limitation. Innovation comes out of limitation, and the limitation of people are all at home. That's a good limitation. People are all on their computers. That's a good limitation. People are looking for confidence and activities and health and fitness and things to do. And if you look at 2010, 2000 to 2008, Uber, Airbnb, Slack, AppSumo.com, Stripe, Zoom, some of the biggest companies in the world came out of a recession. So the question to me now is not, what's bad or good about this recession, but who is going to be that next company or that next person that's going to be creating that next big company.
Bob, if you have any question, feel free to chime in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Noah, yeah, I like your videos, man. So, recently
Thanks, man.
you launched a gym business. I think you earned $30 from that business, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Being a millionaire yourself and earning $30. And I really like, how you helped Jamie launch that course.
Yeah.
Right? So it's about, taking that bold steps to actually launch a business, asking your buddies what they need, like, ask Daniel what he's buying. So, what does it take, for people to start a business to validate their ideas in these times?
Yeah. So number one, we have a site called monthly1k.com. Bob, can you mute yourself? Thank you. So monthly1k.com is exactly how I start businesses. The course is $7. And once you've made your first $7, we refund your money. And I didn't want to open this course. I didn't want to share and tell people. I didn't want to help people start businesses again because I hate most of these people. And most of these people want to get rich by sitting on their ass and hopefully getting rich by just having the computer open. But recently, a few people have said, hey, I took your course in the past and it changed my life forever. And that's the reason I'm actually succeeding and thriving during this wild time. So I felt compelled to open up the course and show how I did it. And I feel called by some power to go and help the people who are willing to do the work. And so how to do the work and how to start a business. Actually, here's a simple way to think about how to start a business. Get rejected as many times as possible until someone says yes to you. That is how you get success. And the problem, what's interesting, Bob, is that when I started the gym business, I did it as an example. Like, hey, I just posted it to my friends and a few text groups and WhatsApp groups. And I just said, does anyone need anything delivered? I don't have more friends than Daniel or Co or Dominic or Elton or Bob. I have the same amount of friends as y'all. I just asked my friends if I can deliver anything. And I said, what about gym equipment? What about bikes? And people started saying what they needed help with. And then I just said, all right, let me go see if I can solve it. If you have a customer, and you have the money, it is much easier to deliver the service. But 99% of people do it the other way around. They build the website, they buy the domain, they get the WordPress, they say they need a developer, they go to Upwork, they go to Fiverr, and 2 months later, they spent $5,000 to $20,000 and they still don't have anything to prove for it. While in 1 hour, I had 3 customers buying gym equipment from me and I made $30. Now, there's a lot of interesting things with that, and I won't go into all of it. And we can do this in you can name a business. I'll be able to start it within 24 to 48 hours with customers or not. And if I don't have a customer, that means it's maybe not a great business to start, and I could find a business to start that will be easier for me.
I think one of the business that you started that I was quite interested was the beef jerky one.
Yeah. I just posted that again on okdork.com. So if you want to read about that, and then on youtube.com/okdork, I'm going to be putting up the video about how I started it. But that was an example where I let people tell me what type of business to start. They said, start a jerky business. And I said, I'll figure out how to make 1,000 profit, not using my email list, not using my network, my audience, just my friends, to figure out how to get that business going. And I didn't have someone just donate $1,000. My mom rejected me. My brother rejected me. The people they're my blood, and they were rejecting me. So the beef jerky business, it actually ended up getting sold for $100,000. So let me just share a few things about starting the businesses, and the site, you can put it up there, is monthly1k.com. But I think there's 2 things that are interesting about it. Number one, there's many interesting things, but number one, if you limit your time to a weekend, 48 hours, you don't spend any money, you try to get 3 customers, and you try to make $100. If you can do that, then your business has chances. Second piece is that I had a lot of people actually say, oh, look at this bum. He only made $30. I was like, I am a multi-millionaire, and I don't say that to brag because I don't want to get robbed and kidnapped. But I say that I'm a multi-millionaire getting excited by $30. I can't tell you how many of these losers, these do-nothings, were sitting on the sidelines making fun of that, where that is why I'm a multi-millionaire, because I'll still get excited to do that work. And I'm not better than that. And the fact is that everything starts with $1. So once you make that first dollar and you get that momentum going on any business, then that comes the second customer. Because Facebook, StreamYard, Google, Uber, Grab, they all started with 1 customer. And people forget that. And the next part, just to finish with this about starting businesses, is that businesses evolve.
Yeah.
Facebook started as a file sharing site called Wirehog, right? And Facebook tries a lot, but I think the thing that they have to realize is, one, work on a big market. This is a whole nother story, but things evolve. So Sumo Jerky, which was just me selling jerky to offices, I could have sold more food to offices. Then I could have done delivery to offices. Then I could have done delivery to residential. Guess what that is? Instacart. But I think people are narrow-minded, and the ones who aren't willing to actually go and put themselves out there to risk it or fail will never find out what they can achieve.
Yeah, when you started, so basically in terms of Sumo Jerky into Instacart, that is quite a journey. And a lot of companies, a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, like, I need funding, I need to raise money. And I don't think you ever raised anything at all. What's your comment about that? Like, because you've been in the fundraising startup world.
I've been in Silicon Valley. I mean, I worked at Facebook, I worked at Intel, I worked at Mint. We were one of the largest Facebook game developers. We were one of the largest Facebook payments developers. Yeah. I don't believe you can start any business out there, period, without funding. Name one business, and I will figure it out how to start it without funding. And some of the people can comment, or if you guys have ideas like, what about this business? All right, I'll figure a way to prove it to you. So let me even give you a crazy example. What about a car? Noah, I'm an engineer. I build big, complicated things. You're a dumbass. You're a marketer. You don't know shit. Think about this. How many Model 3s were sold 2 years before they were delivered?
0.
No. What? Tesla sold 500,000 Model 3s at $500 each 2 years before anyone ever got a car. They made over $1 billion selling a car that did not exist. Yeah, their first car wasn't even their car. It was a Lotus that they put some batteries in off the shelf. But everyone is like, I need funding. I'm not saying funding is bad. I think funding is an accelerant when you have a thing that works. But I think people get that backwards. I'm a huge, if AppSumo and our Sumo group needed money, I would go get a bunch of money. But we're not able to use our capital efficiently enough, so I'm not fundraising. So that's why I recommend people to not go fundraise, because I think what happens with fundraising is they use it as an excuse. Oh, these investors, they said they were going to do the term sheet, and I had a term sheet, but they denied it because the virus. They didn't do it because of the virus. If your business was great, they'd still give you money. I would give you money if your business was great, but guess what? Your business isn't great.
There is a Chinese saying, actually, the money has like 4 different corners, and the corners are actually considered jiao. Jiao sounds like legs. So essentially, if you look at the 4 different, and money has 4 legs, we only have 2. So money will chase after you or run away from you. So if you have something good, money will chase after you. That's something really interesting.
Yeah, I think the part of starting businesses in general is that just get experience, man. Like, so for Robin or Elton or whoever's watching now and later, it's about going out and trying something, seeing what works and doesn't work, and then keep learning from that. Like, I started businesses since college and even a little before, and most of my businesses you don't hear about. Most of them have failed. But a lot of people are like, wow, he's done the... I think it's, one, I put myself in the right place. So I was online in groups like yours, or maybe I was geographically in the Bay Area. But now, you don't have to be there as much. So you just have to be around those people. And 2, you have to get busy, right? You're like, you don't hear about all the businesses that have failed. You just hear about my successes. So like, if you want to put up the link, put up sendfox.com. That's, everyone should be starting a newsletter. Everyone has some expertise. Start building up your audience. That's been one of my secret weapons in terms of, I've been able to connect with people like Mohan and those guys because of my newsletter and blog over the years, okdork.com.
Okay, that being there, I remember there was a period of time you actually brought in some of entrepreneurs over to Austin for, I think it's this monthly 1K, I can't remember what was it. And one of the examples, I think one of the examples you gave to a friend of mine, Johnson Go, was
Johnson.
Yeah, basically this painting. It's not even a painting company. What it was is basically you key in your zip code and they will match you with 3 painters. So it's lead generation for painters. And that company was doing really, and it's like one of those business that at that point in time, it just blew my mind and reshaped how I think about business.
Awesome.
And
yeah, I think there's so much amazing. This is the greatest equalizer and opportunity in our lifetime. Opportunity doesn't happen when things are predictable. Like, if everyone knew, oh, wow, we should have a social network, there would not be an opportunity for someone to create Facebook. So the opportunity comes from uncertainty. The opportunity comes from chaos. And so some people are going to choose to say, hey, like, what's something small I could do today? How do I maybe sell one of my items on marketplace? I don't know what's the popular marketplace in Malaysia.
Lazada. Lazada is our Amazon. Sorry.
Yeah, so that. Or maybe I'm going to try to deliver something. Or maybe I'm going to create a board game. Or maybe I'm going to try to figure out something in health and fitness. Or maybe I know people are stuck at home. Maybe I can figure out something so that their home is nicer. Or maybe I can do date nights. Or maybe I can help them get like packages from things in America. Like, hey, every month we bring you the 5 like nice things so you can feel like you're back at home in America, or that you can see what America's like, whatever. You know, I think the point is like the ideas and opportunities are limitless. Mm-hmm. It just really comes down to, are you willing to put in the work?
I think Bob mentioned a while back in terms of like you've been helping a lot of people trying to build their business or try to solve their thing. The most recent one is the video on how to grow a YouTube channel. And a lot of Malaysians always complain like, oh, but I'm stuck in Malaysia. How can I do business? And you already proven one thing. At least Bob is also another one that has business, that customers all around. And I'm getting requests more and more over this whole COVID-19. So please share in terms of like, how do you build an audience, right, for someone who is like from Malaysia? And for the people who do not understand, Austin is not, it's fairly big. It's not
Silicon Valley. It's not New York. It's not LA. So how you build an audience is you start today. That's number one. So go to sendfox.com, get a free newsletter. And then number 2 is have something unique to say. So what a lot of people do is they're like, why can't I build an audience? And I was like, because no one wants to fucking hear your stupid ideas. That, I don't know if you guys heard me clearly. I won't repeat it, but because because no one gives a fuck about your boring ideas. So number 2, have something unique to say. If it's about anything, gardening, chess, like I'm big into chess. It could be chess. It could be about soda. Maybe it's about soda water. Maybe it's about books. Now there's a site, Blinkist. Blinkist has built a 7-8 figure business off book reviews. Maybe it's about shaving stuff, because I got to go shave my head soon. Maybe it's about headphones. Maybe it's about that. But the point being is that a lot of people today, the problem is that they want to eat their vegetables without planting the garden first. So number 1, plant your garden. Get it going. Number 2, have something unique to say. And number 3, do it for 10 years. And I've been blogging for 20 years now. I didn't even realize that till recently. And I think I had a breakthrough in marketing recently. I think there's actually 3 types of marketing. There is today marketing, near marketing, and long marketing. And so I do think that is a near to long-term marketing activity. What does that mean? You're not going to make money from that right away. But in 20 years, you'll make cool connections. Like I got to go to Singapore and Malaysia because of it. You'll make friends and you can make money, but that'll take a year or 2. So you do have to figure out, if you're trying to start a business and build an audience, what can I do near term that's going to be a little bit more impactful? Because the misconception is that this is something that was another breakthrough for me as well. The people that are famous on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok globally are doing a lot more work than you think.
Yes.
It's not luck. And when you read an article that these fucking people made $1 million or $10 million, there's only about 100 of those people that are making that much money. Everyone else is making nothing. And the reality, though, is that the ones who are making a lot are working a lot. And I think people just imagine that they're like, I thought that too. I think I saw these bicycle guys. I'm like, oh, look, he's just biking all day. Like, you just fucking ride your bike. Like, that's such a great, his name's Seth's Bike Hacks. He's the #1 bike show on YouTube. And he's,
really?
he gets like 1 million+ subscribers. And he's like, dude, I bike almost nothing. I just make videos. I spend my whole day making a fucking video. I was like, really? But yo, your videos look so fun. You're always having so much fun. He's like, it's entertainment, dude. And so I think the big thing with building an audience, the last 2 things I'll say about them is, number 1, go one by one. That means that every single person that you can get matters. So if you're out having coffee, hey man, are you on your phone? Go to sendfox.com/Noah and join his newsletter. That's mine. Or if it Bob's, if like you have a podcast, whenever you meet any single person, hey, do you listen to podcasts? Do you like gardening? Let's subscribe you right now. So one by one, and thank them and talk to them, because I think we disconnect from the human. We're like, oh, I only get 20 views on this video. That's 20 people choosing their life to give to you. That's very valuable. And the second thing is that I've observed this a lot in companies and people, is that they'll put out a blog or podcast or YouTube, or they want an audience, but they don't promote it at all. They pray. They go to the mosque because it's Ramadan, and they're, please, Muhammad, please, Jesus, please, Jewish God, please, Buddha God, please bring these people to my newsletter. Please let Uncle Google give me some traffic. I don't believe in that. I believe in faith, but not in business. Mm-hmm. And so I think people need to be a little bit more active in how are they promoting to the people they want to reach. And most people are sitting and praying, and that's why they're getting those results.
No, and most people are not waking up at 7 a.m. waiting to watch this. So I like to implore our people. I know a lot of them message they will watch it later, but my God, you guys are like champions. So like Alton, Eileen, Robin. Actually, Robin is in the States, so not fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. Someone said this, and I love this quote: is that fear doesn't wake up before 7 a.m. I don't have. Do you guys have kids?
No.
So I think when you are a parent and you have kids and they're stuck at home, that's something that's a lot more work than me or either of you guys realize how much work that is.
I know.
And so that I have a lot of respect for. But I think two things are interesting about this time period. If you lost your job, which you didn't lose it, they took it away from you. If your job's not there anymore, this is a great chance to control your fate and make a job for you. And the second thing about like being a parent and stuff like that is that if you really want it, there is time available. If you really want it, you could be a champion. I guess this person's calling champions. If you really want it, there's weekends, there's nights, there's lunch, and there's mornings. And you guys have a tough job as parents, but if you want to control your fate, if you actually want to run a business and you're willing to put in the work, it's available. There's no discrimination online. And I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with international people more than ever, because the international people work their asses off. And Americans are fucking lazy. Oh yeah, I went to fucking this college, I should just get a job. Fuck no, you're not. You don't deserve. No one's guaranteed shit. So what's up, Adam? Utah? That's what I'm talking about. But no one's guaranteed or promised anything. And some people are willing to go and do that work, and they will get those results.
Yeah, heads up to Kari. Kari has 3 kids and doing this, and he's just started a channel about cooking. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I think one of the things I would just highlight is that it took me about 10 years to become a millionaire. And so the reason I share that is not to brag about how rich I am, because honestly, I can't really spend the money. I have a real big block. I mean, we can have a therapy class about why I can't spend money. But I think what's interesting about that, and the reason I say it for myself, it's really who I'm telling to, but I'm also sharing it with the audience, is that if you can stick with it for 10 years, you'll make $1 million. You don't have, and look, not everyone should run a business. Not everyone should create a side hustle. I think they should. I think it makes life interesting. I think what's more important is, are you doing the work you want to do?
Yeah.
Because you're going to die. Maybe not. Hopefully someone fixes it and cures death. But in this lifetime we have, why not at least spend it working on something you're interested in? I'm interested in sharing this stuff, knowledge worldwide. I'm interested in creating the tools or promoting the tools so that people can create their own businesses, because I love when people love their jobs. Because my mom hated her job.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, everybody's got different parent stories,
yeah.
But she hated her job, and that really impacted me my whole life. And I love this internet world. I love all this stuff that's happening. I love technology, and I want everyone to love their work. And so it's just saying, hey, in this short time, if you're willing to do something in 10 years and you keep working on it and you persist and you're resourceful, persistence and resourcefulness, you'll make your $1 million.
Bob, any question for Noah?
Not really related, but Noah, I know you work with a lot of Malaysians, so we have a Malaysian audience watching here. So, tell us what's good about Malaysians.
Oh, so much. No, I mean, Dean is like super impressive. I think what's fascinating about how the internet look, this is years now. I think Americans are finally waking up to it, is with the whole work from home and the whole Slack and, Facebook and StreamYard and all the communication channels and ways we can communicate and access. You don't really know where the fuck anyone is in the world. And I think there's a lot of chances for anyone in Malaysia to rise up and create the next big worldwide game-changing company. And there's a lot of Malaysian, even if they don't do that, there's a lot of amazing high paying work. I think the international wages are going to keep rising and the US wages are actually going to keep declining, especially if remote and work from home stuff gets bigger, because that means that no one can hear if you have an accent. No one cares about your screen. They just care about your screen name and your output. And so I think that gives Malaysians, who Dean is phenomenal and he's amazing. I love Dean. I think I've worked with him now like 4 or 5 years. Dean Young, big ups, deanyoung.com. And I think it's an equalizer, if not an opportunity, for the Malaysian country to rise up. And, you know, it's risen up a lot, but even go further. And I think part of it is there's so much free information available. Like if you're saying, Noah, I don't know anything, I just in college. Noah, I've been a teacher and now I got fired. Or no, I have a restaurant. YouTube is international. Mm-hmm. The information, like if you go to youtube.com/okdork, that's just one little channel. It's a medium channel. It's been growing and people are liking it, but that's just one. You can learn literally anything. I've learned so much about like, live and how to shave my head and all these things for free. And you can learn anything for free and then go do that stuff. So it's powerful, man. It's amazing. And then, so if you're in Malaysia, spend some time on YouTube and then start reading the book called Experience. That's my favorite book out there.
That's a good suggestion, actually. That's a really good book. Anderson mentioned that, do you mean you need 10 years to validate your business?
Hell fucking no, dude. I just told you it's 48 hours. So validation, validation's an interesting in humanity. Validation means confirmation of who you are, right? Like, so if I go to you, Bob, or if I go to you, Daniel, and I say, hey, I need validation, it's like saying, hey, I need you to confirm something with me. And in business, what you want to do is, I want to validate confirmation that there are customers willing and ready and excited to pay me for something. And so it is critical that you find that out as quickly and as cheaply as possible so you don't waste your time and you could find something that people are excited to pay you for.
I think that's a very big misconception about validation, because a lot of times the whole startup world is talking about validation. It's like, oh, whether there's a product market fit in terms of that, but they don't think about whether people are willing to pay for you. I can't remember who mentioned it. It's like, if you're whatever you're offering, if you remove it from the market and it's causing people pain, that is pure validation.
That's a good one. I think the two things I want to highlight, just to make sure people are careful, is that a lot of people are like, well, I built an email list, or I did ads and people clicked on the button, or I built a site and it seems like people want it. You can't pay your bills with effort, people. You can't tell your landlord, hey, I drew this thing and people seemed excited about it, so I'm going to promise to pay you. It's money. Money is truth. And I think that's just a really important thing that people kind of get wrong. With the validation stuff specifically, I think the thing that people have is fear. So I didn't even realize this, but people have so much fear about starting a business or a side hustle, especially in Asian cultures. Because there's a lot of hierarchy, there's a lot of respect, there's a lot of saving face. And so being rejected or putting yourself out there is scary. Even me, right? Like I'm on YouTube and I put a video out. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to embarrass my coworkers. I don't want to say, oh, I'm a millionaire. And the people I work with are like, well, fuck you, guy. And eventually you have to kind of be yourself and say, I am enough, and start building up the fear muscle. And the coffee challenge is the best way to do that, which is ask for 10% off next time you buy anything. And you find out that you get rejected. And then you find out you're still alive. And maybe you got a discount. Maybe you didn't. And then you say, hey, let me try this with business. Hey, do you want me to deliver you anything? Is there anything I can deliver for you? Gym equipment, bike equipment, food equipment, anything you've been wanting? Is there anything on your to-do list? This is one of my favorite business starting questions. Is there anything that's been on your to-do list longer than a week?
Mm-hmm. I remember there was a period of time you actually, I can't remember when was that, but you were asking people to actually search on Twitter, like, I have a problem with this, and find problems to solve.
Yeah, I don't like that one as much, though, I'll tell you. Because if I had a problem, like, hey, like today, I wanted champagne because I want to celebrate. We got 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm so excited. Woo. And we worked hard.
I know you work hard.
I worked hard. I haven't worked hard in a while. This is the first time in years I felt compelled. I felt called. And if I put on Twitter like, hey, can someone help me get this? And it's some random person I don't know. Let me give you a better example of that, though. And you can put up my YouTube channel, youtube.com/okdork. So the two things, let me give you just a quick example. And I got about 7 minutes before I gotta head out. So 2 people emailed me this week to help me with my YouTube channel. youtube.com/okdork. Thank you, Daniel. And one of them said, hey, I'm a YouTube expert. I could fix your channel for you. I could get you growing bigger. I was like, all right, deleted. Second person emails me, said, hey, I know that you've been working on your YouTube a lot. You're making all these videos, man. But here's a report that I did. It's a 10-page report. I've gone through every single piece of your YouTube thing. I've circled things, I've highlighted, and I've created an action plan of the exact things that you should go do to fix your YouTube channel. So who do you think I responded to?
I'll say the first one, but I'm wrong.
What the fuck would I respond to the first one?
Nah, second one, man.
I didn't respond to either of them. I deleted both of those emails.
Seriously?
No, I'm joking.
Dominic just subscribed, so you have 50,001.
Hey, one by one. Thank you, Dominic. Every single person matters, and I've really started appreciating that. One other thing, if you want to link it up, is we also have a group where if you have questions about marketing,
I love that.
Yeah, okdork.com/group, where I'll there's a bunch of smart people like Daniel in it. I don't know if Bob's in it, but it's a great way to connect with other smart people and help each other. But yeah, the point being is that, and I want to highlight that example, is if you're looking to start a business, make it easy for someone to want to give you money. That's really it, right? And you have to find something that's important to them. Growing my YouTube is important to me. And so if you come to me and say, hey, I want to help you grow your YouTube, I'm like, well, how do I know that? And now I have a bunch of, all of us have different, everyone is busy. Even the fucking unemployed alcoholic people sitting on couches are busy doing nothing. That's what they're busy with. And so you have to figure out, how do I know what's important to them? For me, it's YouTube. For you, maybe it's your Facebook group. For Bob, maybe it's something else. And how do I come to something with them so compelling about what's important to them that they almost feel they are required? Like, let me give you another example. I wanted to go to, there was a contest. It was to go to this one conference. And this guy, Dharmesh, he's the founder of HubSpot. He posted on his Facebook, hey, I want to buy a ticket for someone to go to this business conference called Business to Software. Tell me why I should pick you. 50 people replied. Maybe hundreds of people replied. And I replied. I wrote something nice. Oh, I run a company, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, how do I stand out? So then I went and recruited, I think around 20 to 30 people to go like my post. So when he goes and looks at all of them, he's like, why does this one have 20 likes and everyone doesn't have anything? And I won the contest. And that doesn't, and I want to highlight, there's many times I lose and you never hear those stories. But it's the times that I'm winning that you all hear about. And that's the fun part. That's the dishes. You're not seeing what's going on in the kitchen. But the point being is that as you're doing the work, if you can stand out 1%, just even 1%, you'll win. Because everyone is doing the same thing. They fucking update their resume. They send in the bullshit resume, and then they get lost like everyone else. So you have to figure out where you're going to be that 1% and stand out so that you get that 99% results. So that you can get all the 99%.
I always love the quote, 1% better. That's even 1% better is always an advantage.
Dude, people are so fucking shitty nowadays, and everyone is giving up, that if you even just do a little bit more, not even 1%, do 0.1% more. I promise you'll probably get better results and you'll start being surprised. The thing that I have to remind myself, and this is an interesting thought around it, is a lot of times we just go and ask, like, hey, give me this stuff. Daniel, let me be in your group. Daniel, let me promote my thing. Try experimenting next time. Go and just help Daniel first. Don't ask for anything. Then Daniel might even ask you, hey, is there something I could promote for you? Is there something I could do for you? And don't do it like sneakily, like, oh, well, if I help him, he's gonna know. People aren't fucking dummies. No, there's not many dummies anymore. They're dying off. So you have to do it with a straight up, and you could tell people. You don't have to be hidden. So I think the point there is say to people, hey, I'd like to help you with some stuff, and if it makes sense, maybe you can help me with mine. But let me help you first to make sure I know this is important. I'm gonna do these things for you.
I do not understand. We get your question, but never mind. Bob, you any question for Noah before we let him off?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So Kiata said, he said, hey, can you suggest anyone for Daniel or someone in the person to connect with? I think what's interesting, Daniel, with your group is what do they need the most help with? And sometimes you should know that. And sometimes you just do a survey. Like here's a poll. And that's a great way to start any newsletter. Like if you start sendfox.com and you start your newsletter today, which you should, just make your first automation, your first email, say, hey, reply with one thing that I can answer for you today. And guess what? You'll start figuring out things that you can help people with.
Yeah, definitely. That's always a good move to actually go there. The group is something I'm doing on sabbatical, so technically I'm on a break. But I love the group. The group is so freaking awesome. Like it's that we get fairly good response over there. So thank you very much, Noah. I know you have to go. I owe you a taco.
Dude, I'm gonna cut you, dude. I fucking come and collect. I had 2 tacos for breakfast.
No, I have to bring you to Malaysia for taco.
That would be wild, man. I do enjoy a good taco. I don't know about Malaysia. I have other places on my list, but we'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. We'll definitely. It's been a while, so yeah, I'll come back to Austin.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here, guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So
thanks, Noah. Yeah.
One and only place to drop by, okdoc.com. So that's the good place to go. If you want to subscribe to his YouTube channel, I have learned a lot throughout my entire career. Actually, I learned a lot from Noah. So thank you very much, Noah. Really appreciate you for sharing with our audience. And hopefully we can get them to start global business. The next big thing could come from here. So thank you very much.
You never know who it's going to be, man. I'll tell you, I'm always surprised. Some of the people on the come up, like Dominic could be that next person. And he's like, yeah, I listened to Noah and did some of these things. Then I started figuring out things for myself. But and check out appsumo.com. Everyone go do that. But May, share your food list, May. Don't ask for permission. No apologies here. All right, guys. Deuces. See ya.
Cheers. Peace. Thanks. All right. Thank you very much. So I think Bob got stuck in terms of a bit of technical issue. Bob, what do you think?
It's good. It's good. I think I like the point where he said you can start from anywhere in the world. So, if for the audience right here, Noah actually works with a lot of, he's head of content or his writers from Malaysia. So, anyone here, don't look down on yourself. You can start something and do business, in the US, in the rest of Asia. So just go out there, man.
Yeah, I really agree because that's one thing we want to try to encourage our group in Malaysia, our entrepreneur group in Malaysia, that you guys are global. You guys are not only from Malaysia. Your business doesn't have to be from Malaysia. I know there is a lot of stuff that are just Malaysia-based and etc. But yeah, it can be global. There's nothing stopping Burger Lab from selling their particular what's it called? Their sauce, their secret sauce. I cannot remember what's it called. Wicked, don't kill me about that. Globally, so there's a lot of stuff that can be done. So hopefully you guys learned something. Do sign up at his channel. Bob, anything that is coming up with you before we go on?
No, man, I'm good. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for your questions. Thanks Elton for watching. Elton is actually my friend, so thanks everyone for watching as well.
Thank you everyone for watching. I have a couple of plugs. Next Tuesday we are getting the author of Rising Samsung. Essentially, he wrote the book, definitive book of how Samsung came about to be the multi-conglomerate they are. I will send out the details. And we have Rebecca Fanning from Silicon Dragon. So 2 New York Times bestselling authors coming in again. So hopefully you guys can ask questions to them in terms of what they learned so far into that. Rebecca is actually very interesting because we're going to get her to talk about how China pivot their business over COVID-19. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Elton. I'm going to mention your name again. Didn't expect your name to be Melton. But Elton, thank you very much for watching. Thanks, May. Thanks, everyone, for watching. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Thank you.